Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Brownlee. Welcome to Body of Christ, Real Talk. Have you been just on, if you are a new business owner or someone looking to start a legit offline or online business, let's just say an offline business. If you're looking to start an offline business or some type of gig, and you go on YouTube and you go on Facebook and you go on those two biggest outlets, or even Google something. But the social media platforms are the main ones I'm pointing at, referring to. When you're online, you're trying to find a legit business opportunity. I'm not talking about gig or job or nothing like that. I'm talking about a legit business opportunity as a believer, as a Christian. And you pop it up in there. Just for instance, if I type in Christian business, online business, they will pop up everywhere. It doesn't matter what you type in YouTube or Facebook, because they all get they follow you. They know what you're looking for. That's why all of a sudden when you type up something, it shows up in your Facebook ads or something like that. It's going to show up. I'll get to that later. But just say, as a believer, you would think, or people will have you to think, or believers and Christians will have you to think, we should only look for a Christian business, whether it's online or offline. Now, there's some truth in that, and there's some falsity in that, if that's a word. And the reason I say that because the name Christian is plastered on a business, any type of business, does not mean that they are real believers and real Christians. Now, what do I mean by that? The word Christian's name is being used because a person says they are Christian does not mean they are part of the body of Christ. I know I said it a lot and some people might get aggravated, but I'm just looking at it in a biblical perspective, because a company or online business or some type of institution or a school or academy call themselves a Christian this or a Christian that, you got to do your research on what they believe in and why do they consider themselves believers, check their creed and stuff like that. But when it comes to online business, they're not there to post up their faith or what they believe in. And they should not have to do that. They just put Christian business up there. First of all, I'm like this. If you have a business, I don't have to plaster Christian on there or my faith. They're going to find it out anyway, as long as they stick around my website. They're going to see that. I don't have to plaster Christian up there. I'm not saying it's a red flag unless you are targeting your niche. Your niche is targeting Christians. That's good if it's only targeting Christians. Now, if you really want your business to grow, listen carefully, to grow, and I believe this, to grow, I think you need to target anybody that's interested of what you are selling. And don't only let it be specifically for believers or Christians, unless you're selling Christian gear, like bags and cups and stuff like that. But if you just have a regular business, and you're trying to bring in an income, and that's your main source of income, I think you ought to be open to everyone, because that's not your church, that's not your building. You're trying to make an income, and the money is still green, it still spins. The currency is still spins. You understand what I'm saying? If you got whatever product you got, digital product, and you're trying to sell goods or a restaurant, you just open that place up and you sell to whosoever. That's how you're going to make the most income. Study specifically saying for Christians only or Christian business. That's nothing wrong with that, unless you are targeting that nation. And your stuff is only meant for believers. Okay. Now, I know I'm running around about because it's not exactly what I wanted to talk about, but that's something I just threw out there. Okay. But when you as a believer, I'm going to speak for myself because I like starting with myself. If I'm looking for a business on YouTube or even Facebook or something like that, it's almost like you're searching for a needle in a haystack these days. And the reason I say that because I'm noticing when I'm looking for something, and I know my budget, and I know a free start. I have become pretty good at knowing the fakes from the real so far because, as you would notice, if you're trying to be an independent believer, because I'm not looking for a job anymore, or an extra job or a career anymore, because the trend is changing, and the way the government treat us now and taxes us to death, through the year and the end of the year, and then what we get back pennies. You have to be your own independent boss. You have to hold your own. And you're going to continue to struggle unless you make about 80 to maybe 100,000 a year in the United States if you want to live somewhere decent. That's just real talk. Now, I may be wrong. There's other places you can live for 50,000 a year. And so I need to stop that because it is. But my point is if you want just a decent home, a decent vehicle or something, and it depends on the size of your family, those jobs, and you love to work, that's fine. Those will be great for you. But it's coming to a point now that it's so hard and tight to live in the United States now that you must have some type of second income or some type of second gig to keep up with the expenses that you would like to live. I would like to live a decent living. I would like to have a home. I don't need to have a mansion, but I would like to have a 2 to 3 bedroom home. That's what I would like. Maybe one car and a nice little size yacht. That's all I want for me and my wife, me and my future fiance, my wife, and stuff like that. So you got to know what you want and what you're looking for. But what I want to talk about, when you search it in those online avenues for starting a business, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's legit because I'm going to tell you about 90% of them are scams, even higher than that. Are scams or they're just a bunch of garbage. And they're wannabe millionaires or wannabe. So they're trying to make $1 off you. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what's selling products or some type of business or whatever. They're trying to make some money. But I just want you to, I'm not saying that's wrong. That's good. They're trying to. They should. Yes, I'm doing that. And everything like that. I'm not wealthy. Wealth ain't nothing like that. But you have to throw yourself and brand yourself and get your product out there, whatever it is. So, but the thing is, I'm going to do a little short series on this to help you guys and help myself. When you are doing that, you have to do something that's different from them, not so much because it works. You might say, Joe, I thought the trend was the thing to be wealthy is watch somebody and do what they do. That is, don't get me wrong, yes. But the opportunities are so humongous and the knowledge has increased, like the Bible said, so much. There is so many opportunities and fast ways to become wealthy, whatever your wealth window is. I don't mean being rich or millionaire, billionaire all the time. I'm just talking about your wealth. It's so much out there for your dreams to be met now that wasn't available 20 years ago or so because of the strength of the internet and AI and different things like that in the technology. So there's no excuse to start that independent business that you always wanted to start or even learn a skill that you always wanted to. You don't have to stay at a job if you don't want to. Remember, I said if you don't want to. Some people love their jobs. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's others, they say they want to get away from the job and they want to start their own independent business and do something else. You got athletes, from what I heard, leaving the NFL, making millions of dollars, man. This guy the other day just to start a farm. See, there's so many opportunities for you to follow your passion now, but let me just digress. When you're looking for that online business, usually started by someone else, grab it, if you can find a legit one. The thing with that most of the online business, probably 95% of them going to overpromise and going to exaggerate the income opportunities and what you can make. That's like the sale. So in a nutshell, yeah, they lie. They lie. So when you see that, That's the pull. They have testimonial stories. A lot of them are real, a lot of them are fake, a lot of them probably even paid for. And that's the challenge of looking for the online business, something that you want to do, something you got your mind on. And usually the thing that pulls people in, including myself, learning from experience, is the income opportunity and the testimonies. When you hear people's testimonies, it touches you, but it's usually something behind that testimony, because usually the product and the item they're presenting to you is an upsell behind it. And a lot of times, the majority of the people that's making that big money, they in some type of mentor program and probably pay thousands of dollars in the mentor program. You pay $50 to $100, and you're not going to get that attention and that lift like they did, because they paid more. So they try to get you to upgrade to the silver, gold, platinum at the end. So it's not for your benefit, it's for their benefit and money in their pockets. That's why very few make it in these type of business. So you say, what should we do, Joe? The thing is, I'm not saying that the businesses are illegitimate or something, nothing like that, or the concept that they use is illegitimate or anything like that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you got to find out, even with these communities and programs, a lot of the time you're still going to wind up being on your own. What do I mean like that? Because if you're not a techie person like myself, 3 minutes left, and the things they say you can do and you can make that money, which you can, if you're not a techie person or you don't have the time or the patience, you're going to fail in a sense that you're going to give up. Let me just put it that way, you're going to give up. And you might blame the business, and a lot of times it might be you, but the larger point, the biggest thing is it's the business. They didn't walk you through it, or it was just too technical for you to get through anyway. So it's just different reasons why the majority of the people fail in online business. And I mean the majority of them. When they say the 2% make it, they 3%, 5%, yes, the majority of the people fail because they don't train themselves and they don't skill themselves, or whatever like that. But what I am saying, in order to be successful, I'm finding out, to be successful in a legitimate online business, number one, you got to understand a lot of times you're going to be by yourself. You got to use your God-gifted creativeness as a believer, even in a so-called Christian online business. You got to just really, don't expect nobody to hold your hands. You got to be creative. There's so much technology that you can learn and do now to build up. You got to know your window, your ceiling. You got to know your wealth ceiling. Excuse all that noise out there. I'm at work and it's a lot of noise. They're coming in, it's a lot of noise. So excuse me for that. Let me hurry up. You got to know your ceiling and everything like that. So basically, when you're online looking for a business, unless you build one from the ground up, whether it's a brick and mortar business or online, but I'm just talking about online business, just understand the key of building wealth. I really found out why some people make it and most people don't. Why some people make it and most people don't. And I'm going to talk about that in the next podcast. I really think I found a gem why most people make it and some don't. And many of these businesses, I'm going to give you a hint, say that you don't need money or you don't need much money to start. I found that that's a lie. A lot of times you do need money. Why? Because you need something to get yourself out there or get your product out there. I don't care how good the product out there, it got to get out there. It has to reach somebody. But what could you do if you are limited with funds? How could you be successful like some of those people out there? Not competing with them. I'm not here to compete with them, but come reach your wealth ceiling. I'm going to talk about that and give you some ideas that I'm going to use and keep you updated on the next episode of Real Talk Financial Talk with Joseph Brownlee, Real Talk. God bless you. Bye-bye. Peace out.